Hello and good morning. Joe Justice here, coming to you live from 950 Canal Boulevard East in Charleston, West Virginia. That's the Charleston headquarters of Advantage Technology. Advantage Technology has 3 offices in Charleston, Bridgeport, and Williamsport, Maryland. We actually also have a little satellite office in Frederick, Maryland, where we're expanding regularly. So really excited to be with you guys here today. It is November 23rd, 2022, and that is Hump Day, Wednesday, but it's not really Hump Day, is it? Because today is the day before Thanksgiving. Sometimes just about everybody's favorite holiday, right? You know, it might even beat Christmas, and of course it beats Halloween easily, right? I mean, what's better than Thanksgiving? Well, I thought I would do something a little bit different today. I know I'm stepping out of my lane here. Everybody comes to Joe Justice and Advantage Technology to learn some interesting things about tech and IT, and I thought maybe we would talk just a little bit about gratitude, since today is the day before Thanksgiving, and it's basically Friday for all intents and purposes. It's not really Hump Day, is it? It is the end of the week for most people. Of course, we will be answering the emergency lines, and we will be available on call tomorrow and Friday. But for the most part, everyone will be taking advantage of the holiday and enjoying time with their friends and their family. I hope you get a chance to do the exact same thing. So let's talk about gratitude. I like to tell people that the antidote to anxiety is gratitude. We have so much stuff in the world today that causes anxiety, everything from bills to work deadlines to troubles with the family, medical problems, on and on. Just about everybody has been touched in some way or another by tragedy, and there's no real way of getting around that. That is part of the human condition. But I like to tell people that if they focus on gratitude, that can help alleviate all of those things, because focusing on gratitude gives you less time to focus on all of those anxieties and all those problem-causing things. That doesn't mean that they don't exist, and that doesn't mean that they go away. But there are things that you can control. There are things that you can't control. And if you focus on the things that you can't control, that's just a recipe for disaster. So let's focus on the things that we can control and focus on the things that we're grateful for. So let's talk about that just a little bit. First of all, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. And that's what brought this up for me and what got me thinking about it. After all, what is Thanksgiving but a ritualized day of thanks? It started, most people are familiar with the story that we were all told in high school and elementary school, going all the way back to the Pilgrims and the Indians getting together and giving thanks. And then fast forward a few hundred years, and we had Abraham Lincoln first made Thanksgiving an official holiday. And what is that? It is a ritualized giving of thanks for all of the good things that we have. And we do it in November because it's at the end of the harvest season, and that's the time that we have the most bountiful food and the most food that's available in an agriculture or an agrarian culture like we had 100 years ago. Now, of course, food is plentiful. You can get food just about anywhere now, and there's lots of opportunities to donate food, to give food, to serve at soup kitchens and churches and other places to help those that are less fortunate. And that's one example of gratitude that you could have. You could be grateful for the food that you have and grateful to serve those that are less fortunate than you. I think there's a lot of power and a lot of satisfaction that's in serving, and especially serving those that are in need, serving those that need help. A little act of kindness from you is never wasted, and you should always remember that you will get more out of giving than the person receiving gets out of it. Believe me when I tell you that. So take an opportunity, maybe this weekend, call your local charities, call your local churches, call your local synagogues, see if there is something available, some kind of service that you could do, and that will give you lots of gratitude, lots of things to be thankful for, and you will very much appreciate those opportunities, and believe me, you will get a lot out of them. What else do we have to be thankful for? Well, we live in the United States of America in the year 2022. There are all kinds of exciting things that are happening. outside of just the world of technology, which of course is always exciting and always ever changing. I talked about earlier this week what's happened in 2022 with technology, and we're going to be focusing on the future and doing some more wrap ups as we move forward with everything that's going on. We've got 5G rolling out, AI is becoming more and more available to common people. We've got, Internet of Things is exploding everywhere. There's going to be technology everywhere, and the opportunity to just extend technology to all kinds of different fields, and that will lead to innovations that we can't even imagine today. I mean, just think about the smartphone itself. That led to all kinds of innovations, from apps, social media, just everything that you can imagine. I mean, basically, maps were killed by the smartphone. Who would have ever thought that the phone would have eliminated the map? I mean, that's not the kind of thing that you predict. And let's think about some other things we have to be grateful for. Of course, we have shelter. And that's one thing that I like to tell people. You do have shelter in the year 2022. You do have shelter. You might not have the nicest house on the block. You might not have the biggest house on the block. You might not have all of the furnishings and all of the things that you want in your house yet. But you have a house, and you have that roof over your head. You have protection from the rain, and that's not something that everybody has. You have protection from the weather. You have heating. You have cooling. All of these things that would have been considered a king's type of extravagance, a few hundred years ago. Now every single person has access to it. Don't focus on those things that you don't have. Don't focus on how small your house is. Don't focus on how you don't have, the latest, coolest tchotchkes and all of the things on the walls that you want, all of the decorations. Don't focus on that. Focus instead on the fact that you do have a house. You do have some place to live. You do have shelter, and you have your family there with you under that shelter. If you don't have your family there with you, then now is a great time to reach out to them. Be grateful for your family. Yeah, even your Uncle Steve that kind of drives you nuts and decides to talk politics every time he comes to Thanksgiving dinner, or, your Aunt Karen that's always asking to speak to the manager no matter where you go. Be thankful for those people. Those people are in your life, and they, if nothing else, they give you the opportunity to practice your patience, right? And that's something else you can be grateful for. You don't get better at something without practice. And if you want to learn to deal with difficult people, well, we all have difficult people in our lives that we've got to learn how to manage and how to deal with, right? So that gives you a great opportunity, and that is something to be grateful for as well. What else do we have to be grateful for? Again, I said we're in 2022, so what about medical technology? I was talking to someone just the other day. There are certain kinds of injuries, like shoulder injuries or leg injuries, arm injuries, stuff that 100 years ago you would have just been disabled for life. You'd have been unable to work. You would have probably had to become a panhandler or something like that because you couldn't work anymore. And today, some of those are corrected with simple outpatient surgery. So just imagine the medical technology outside of any of the super high-tech stuff that involves editing genomes or anything like that. Just the simple surgeries, outpatient surgeries that you can go and get today. They're absolutely extraordinary. And that doesn't even count the medicines and some of the other things that are available today. That's another thing to be grateful for in 2022. So all of these things are just some examples. Everybody has their own things to be grateful for in their life and their own things to be excited about. What I want to encourage you to do as we go into the Thanksgiving break is to take the opportunity to start a journal, a gratitude journal. Every day, every morning, write down the date and write down at least 3 things that you're grateful for that day. And that will help you stave off the anxiety, the depression, the challenges in life. You can always come back. Yeah, you got cut off in traffic and now you're going to be late for that meeting. But hey, at least you've got a job, right? Yeah, your house isn't as big as you would like it to be. Your neighbor's is bigger. But hey, at least you've got a house. Yeah, the neighbor's family looks perfect and you wish that you had a family that was just like that. But you've got your family and they're irreplaceable. So take those opportunities, write those things down, at least 3 things every day. Make it a habit every single morning. I'll tell you another little pro tip when it comes to motivation and firing yourself up and being excited for the day. In the morning, when you first wake up, that's your opportunity to write things down that you're not totally sure about. Your brain isn't quite running on all cylinders yet, and that's when your most interesting thoughts will pop into your head. That's why, for example, a lot of people, they say that ideas just pop to them when they take their shower in the morning. It's because your brain's not quite dialed in yet, and it's still making a bunch of random connections to different things here and there. That makes morning the perfect time to journal, and that makes it the perfect time to find things to be grateful for. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope you found this useful. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, follow. Let everybody know that you've enjoyed this message, and maybe you can send it to somebody that will enjoy it as well. Have a happy Thanksgiving. We will see you next week. Thanks again from all of us at Advantage Technology. Happy Thanksgiving, and bye-bye for now.